Hello everyone, this is seller newsletter number 1 for the fall 2023 sale. For those of you new to our sale, we do a newsletter every week for all of the folks who are signed up as sellers for this current sale. We like to do a video version of it just because we know for some people that's a little bit more accessible. So hopefully between the written version and the video version, something is helpful to you. Okay, so our most important thing is that we can make sure that you feel informed and prepared. We know that especially as a new seller, it can feel a little overwhelming, and we don't want you feeling that way. So we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help you feel like you know what's going on. Okay, so for our October 7th sale, so just to give you a little heads up, so like I said, every week you're going to get these newsletters. Also just make sure that you are adding our email to your safe addresses, opening them signals to Gmail that you want to continue getting emails from us. Our emails sometimes like to go to spam, which means that if we are trying to contact you about something super pertinent that you need to know, you may not see it. So make sure that you add us to your contact list, whatever you need to do to get your email to believe that we are not spamming you, okay? We also encourage you to follow our Facebook page because that's a great way to stay updated. And we also have a Facebook group, Little Britches Registered Consignors, I think is what it's called. There is a link in the email that was sent out that you can go to. That's another great place to get information. We post updates in there. And there's a lot of super seasoned sellers who can give you ideas, give you feedback, that kind of thing. Okay, so some things to know about our sale. So if you are new to our sale or have only sold in the online sale, which at this point was in like 2020, so most of you probably are not falling into that, but I like to say that just in case because that was a very different sale. It is going to be super important that you familiarize yourself with all of the information on the website. I know it's a lot. Start at new sellers, click here, read, arrow at the bottom, read, arrow at the bottom, all that good stuff. I know it's a lot of information, but it's going to make sure that you understand all of the things we expect from you from the sale and what you can expect from us at the sale. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you don't know what's going on, please reach out and let us know. Probably the most important things that you are reading is the items that are accepted and the items that are not accepted, because I don't want you to waste your time tagging things that we are going to not be able to sell for you. And those lists can also give you some ideas of things to sell that maybe you hadn't thought about, and how to tag and prepare your items for the sale. So we do have, we pride ourselves in being a very organized sale, and part of that is being very strict with making sure items are prepared appropriately for the sale. All of that information is on the website, so please make sure that you understand how it needs to be entered and tagged. We make it as super easy as possible. It's not hard, just make sure that you do understand the expectations there. And then you'll hear me say this a million times, I would always rather you shoot me a quick question than to have you feeling confused, because most of the time I can answer your questions super fast that you are agonizing over. So please do not hesitate to reach out if something in there is not making sense. Okay, so clothing and shoes, remember, must be fall or winter. So please do not bring tank tops, flip-flops, swimsuits, shorts, any of that kind of stuff. That stuff you need to save for the spring sale. T-shirts, we do allow at both sales. Blue jeans are allowed at both sales. But then, the exception would be any of those that maybe have, if it's got like summer fun printed on it, not a fall winter item, okay? So just kind of use your common sense, but just make sure that it is not a spring summer item because we just do not have the rack space for that. So there's a little picture in the email about how our tags are, what all the symbols mean. Those are questions we're asked a lot and they can cause a lot of confusion. So take a moment to check that out. One big thing is there's a little, if you choose to donate an item, if it does not sell, there's going to be a little black dot on the side. Some people think that black dot is for hole punching through. Please do not do that because it makes sorting really tricky. But that in there will say what all those parts of the tags mean, just so that you can kind of feel like you understand what's going on. Let's see. If you realize while you are tagging that you made an error on a tag, please make sure to go back into the system, edit the tag, which is super easy as long as it's before the item entry time frame is closed, and reprint the tag. If you do not reprint the tag, it is going to pop up with an error in the system, which is going to either take extra of my time on the sale day to correct, to figure out what's going on so we can sell your item, or in some cases we just have to say, I'm sorry, we can't sell this item, and it goes into your consignor bin. So please make sure that if you make an edit to your tag that you are reprinting it. Because if it does not match what's in the system, our computer's system is going to notice it and they're going to think that something is wrong, okay? Please make sure you are printing tags on cardstock. If you print it on printer paper, it is going to get shredded. We have super excited shoppers. We have literally hundreds of shoppers come through and look through all of the items, which means that anything that is, the only time that you can get away with printer paper is if it's something like that you're taping over onto like books or a toy or something. If you're taping on top of it, you can get away with using printer paper in that instance. But if we are especially talking about clothing, it's got to be cardstock or it's not going to last. If items are not tagged, we cannot sell them. So your item is not going to sell if it is not tagged. Check your printer settings. Printing on high quality seems like it would be the best way to go about it, but it's actually not. If you print in high quality, it's going to put too much ink on the paper and it's going to make it really hard to scan. So please, the best thing you can do is actually choosing like economy mode, ink saver settings, that kind of thing. Save yourself some ink, and it also makes them easier to scan. So sometimes we have sellers who just have a ton of really hard to scan items. And if you have been at our sale on Saturday, you know our line can get very long. And if there's one thing that slows up a line, it's lots and lots of items that are hard to scan. So please make sure that you are taking care with that. If your tags are printing off kind of funny and you want me to look them over, feel free to shoot me a picture of them and I can even give it a practice scan on the screen. So don't hesitate to do that. I would much rather do that before the sale than during the sale. Okay, if you sold in a previous sale and you had an item that you picked up that you want to bring back to this sale, you do not have to re-enter the item. It's super easy. If you go into your consignor workstation, there should be, I can't remember right off the top of my head, but there should be a button that's towards the top that says click to see your inactive items. Go there, it's going to show all of the items. So basically any item that was marked for pickups, was not marked for donation, that did not sell at a previous sale, is all going to be in there, and you can just check a box. It will move them to your active inventory, and you do not have to reprint the tag. The tag that is, as long as you still have that tag from the previous sale, you do not have to do anything else. You're ready to go. So super easy peasy. But do make sure you activate those, because it does give us an error code if you did not activate it, which is, again, the fewer headaches you can give us at the register, the quicker that line moves, the more your stuff that sells, okay? Okay, so note about the item sale, or the item cap limit. So that was redundant. The item cap, sale item cap, good gracious. Okay, so if you sold this before, you know that there have been sales where we have had to cut off our item entry early. So our item entry currently, we will close it on October 1st at 10 p.m. That is the date that we have given you. However, if we have learned from years of experience, from our own experience and from the sale owners before us, we just reach a point where we can keep adding items, but it's not going to mean we sell more items, okay? It's just gonna mean the sale is overcrowded, shoppers are overwhelmed, a lower percentage of your items sell. Frankly, you work too hard for us to do something that's gonna reduce your sell-through, which is why we have an item cap. And so if we start getting close to that, we're gonna give you a heads up. We will always give a 5,000 item warning, which is roughly a day, but I've seen it be faster than that. We've given a 5,000 item warning like 36 hours ahead and then made it to the deadline. So there's no perfect science to it, but just be prepared that we do reserve the right to shut down that item entry early, because we wanna make sure you have a successful sale. If you have, so what we strongly encourage you to do is that if you have, ideally enter all your items early, because then your items are entered and it gives us a better idea of where we stand as far as item entry goes. And, if nothing else, make sure you enter those high priority items for you. So if you have a large item that you're tired of sitting around your house, get it entered right now. If you have items that you do not want to hang on to, maybe they're items you've had for a long time, enter those right now, and then they're already in the system. So then if something happens, you don't get anything else entered, you know those items are entered and ready to go. Okay, so along with that item sale cap, something that, because we do tend to creep up on that item sale cap in most of our sales, we want you to be very particular about what you bring. So we do not take garage sale quality items, meaning I know there's a huge use for play quality clothing, but it's just not right for our sale. That's not what we sell at our sale. So make sure you're bringing us your best quality items. If it's got stains, rips, super faded, super worn, leave it at home. You know, we encourage you to pass it on to somebody who could use it, but it's just not right for our sale. Our shoppers are typically looking for higher quality items than that. What I personally do is when I'm sorting through our items, I always just have a donation pile going. So then that way it's super easy. If I come across something and I'm like, oh, there's a stain, toss it in the bag, and then I don't have to think about it again. Okay. And again, because the fall winter sale does, winter clothes take up more rack space, so we have to be more particular. So if we have items that, if our racks are getting super full, we're gonna pull items that we don't think are likely to sell, because again, we wanna respect the time that you've put into your item entry, and we do not want you to have a low sell through because shoppers are overwhelmed and frustrated. All right, so I think that is everything. Especially if you are new, I encourage you to at least get a bundle of things entered early, so then that way if you have any problems or questions, then you have plenty of time to get that resolved. Please, 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 again, I'm gonna say this a million times, please, please, please reach out if you have any questions, anything you're not quite understanding. We want you to have a positive experience selling. Most of our sellers each sale are returning sellers, which hopefully means that people are feeling like they know what's going on and feeling like they're confident about what's going on. I will tell you, most sellers are, feel overwhelmed their first sale. So if that is you, you're not alone, but it gets easier, I promise. But please do not hesitate to reach out. Facebook Messenger tends to be the easiest way to reach us, just because Sean and I both get those alerts. Email also works great. Text works great. You can call me. I will answer eventually. But we have 3 kids, so you all probably know what that means. But do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.